Welcome back to the Bitcoin Advisor channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you from Westlake Village, California. It's bright, it's early, it is Tuesday morning, turnaround Tuesday, and we are getting a bit of a rejection at the top side of our box of peace and prosperity and death and despair. And we've been saying it all week. Look, basically we need to see a, if you're more aggressive, a daily closure back above the box. This horizontal right here at 60,700. Or a daily closure back below 57,400. If either of those two scenarios play out, I would expect something like this happen if we resolve the range to the upside, and if we resolve the range to the downside, something like this. Overall, I do think the downside target, if it does play out, we do get picked up on the first pass at the very least, and see if we can continue on with the uptrend. Other than that, Solana, looking for a stutter step in this area as well if it is going to come down. You know, same kind of double bottom principle. Any kind of a gift around 130 bucks is probably going to be a gift. Ethereum, checking in on Mr. Ether. And yeah, one more double bottom down here on ETH, something like this. Boom. Will look good for a reversal and probably a major buying opportunity. On the other side of the fence, if Bitcoin does get bullish on the shorter term time frames, which is the 15-minute to, I'd say, the hourly, right? We'd want to see a bounce pretty much here now or never. Now or never. Otherwise, we are going to revisit the bottom side of the box. And, you know, take away everybody's peace and prosperity. Now, the 786 should catch a bounce here. A bid right here, I do have one at 58,623. Let's see if that bid is going to get soaked up. I do believe the bid is a little bit lower. In fact, is that the area I want to get my long in from that little high value candle node sickle? Well, it is going to be bounced there, close below there, and we're going to revisit the lows. So if I was going to put a little bidski in there, I'd probably do it sooner than later. What else do I want to take a look on this little Bitcoin long chart? It's up 50% for the day. The current setup is getting dripped on pretty hard here, but you can see a nice equity curve up and to the right. So when I get these opportunities, I do like to long from below the entry because, well, you can pick up a lot of gains that way. So just by knowing that, hey, that particular trade is profitable, you know, you can enter below entry and perhaps get a bit of a little bit of a gainer. What else do I want to bring to our attentions here? Our attention here, have no fear. Other than wanting to add to my positions, my Solana, I'm looking to add just slightly lower at the moment for a short-term play. Again, we're stuck in the box of peace and prosperity and death and despair. We're stuck right in the middle of this box here. And until we get out of this box on a daily time frame, well, probably going to stay in the box. So just higher time frame trend analysis. Yeah, that 786 fib is coming in right there near the bottom of this wick. So pops down, boom. And that's the best case scenario. We've been talking about it all month. We want to bounce it from around this zone at about 51,500. Or do something like this. Something like this. These moves to the downside have been rather swift and you know, painful for the longers out there. But showing you that downtrend is still in effect. We're still making lower highs and lower lows, and in order to get a reversal, we're going to have something big happen here. Something big has got to happen in these markets. So we went over Bitcoin, we went over ETH, Solana. Maybe I'll just draw out those little lines of peace and prosperity and death and despair and see if I can line it up with some fibs here. That is the wrong tool. Using that as the height of the low, we are right at the mid-level. We don't want to reject here at the mid and close below. Otherwise, we could play all the way back down to the 786 on Mr. Solana. The Solana Bears. The Solana Bears are out there, man. They will take your cookies. What else was notable to check in on? Mr. Popcat. Wow, a lot of these gains getting erased here. Mew, all these had a huge pump, and you know, if the market stays bullish, they're probably going to pump more. Pepe, everything getting faded at the moment here, but Brett was the other one that pumped 50% today. Apparently, they got a listing on Binance. You know, almost went for the W there. I did take a 100% gainer on that one. You know, small trade, but still was able to take some profits on this one. And does it look like it did almost come to the middle of this candle, and that's, you know, kind of the general bias right there, is we're probably going to fill out that liquidity one more time, that inefficiency candle. But something to be aware of if we do start making a W formation on the daily time frame, closing above this pivot right here, going to lead to a big girthy move up to about 13 cents, and that doesn't look like much, but we're talking about 30%. 30%. And these things pop 30% in a day. So it happens swiftly. It happens overnight in the wee hours while you're sleeping. The other one to keep your eye on is Tau. Tau, you know, needs to get above this pivot. Everybody's putting in some bearish divergence right now. And I will leave us with that and that hourly bearish div theory, which would give us a shot to the 1618 fib. And ultimately a target a little bit deeper to about $56,000 bucks. If I had to goose the odds of a shot back down here, I would say probably a higher probability that we come down first before going back up at this point. You know, even if we do get a bounce up to 59.9, you know, anywhere below there is just another lower high, and I would expect some continuations. What a brutal day in the markets. I wonder what they announced that was so bad that the stocks are down and Bitcoin is down, and the Japanese yen is taking a leg higher here today. That's the one we've been keeping our eyes on, and that is probably the Japanese carry trade hurting Bitcoin, hurting stocks today. Even though the Dixie is down, Japanese yen is up. Other one notable that looks like it's going to put in a pretty big bounce here is Mr. Bake. Bake token playing out a nice range of horizontals, or whatever you want to call them here. And pretty easy scalp play back, you know, at least mid-range here after this thing just dumped, like massively dumped. It was a dump party for this guy. All right. I think I'm going to leave us off with that, guys. Have a blessed and highly favored rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.